If you have eczema, then every time you say dry skin, people don't get you. If you have eczema and you say flaking, the people don't understand. If you have eczema and you say my skin hurts, I'm itchy, I'm in pain, other people are like, oh yeah, I like rolled in grass, I got itchy ones. They don't freaking understand. And as your acne big sister, medical esthetician, and skintellectual, I cannot fully empathize. I can mainly sympathize, but eczema and psoriasis do run in my family. And it wasn't until the stress of the pandemic that I started having flares myself. And although I might not 100% get it, I've worked with people who really suffer. I've looked at ingredients lists and medical papers to find out what actually works. And I have compiled some of the best products for eczema-prone skin, not just based on what I think, because who gives a f about that, but based on the Eczema Association, based on other people's reviews, based on ingredients and medical papers, and figuring out what actually works. What cuts through the hype and what's trending on TikTok and is actually going to give relief to people who are really struggling with their skin. And when it comes to eczema, we've done videos on what this condition is, how it can have genetic components, how it might be because of a filaggrin deficiency. The science behind eczema is fascinating, and the histology slides of eczema are beautiful. And you are beautiful too. But I understand that it can be so painful or so irritating or so frustrating to struggle in your own skin, or to struggle to sleep, or to get itchy and need to take bleach baths, which yes, we're gonna talk about bleach in this video. So that is why we are compiling these things that actually work. And don't be like me. Don't be that person who watches the YouTube video and is like, oh, that's informative, and then just kind of scrolls by and just loses it in some watch later or history playlist. Literally text or email this to yourself so you don't lose it. Screenshot, actually everything gets lost in my screenshots too. Text or email it to yourself so you don't actually lose it, so that when you need it, you have it to look back on. And as mentioned, these products are actually recommended by the National Eczema Association. Have you ever seen that little E on products? That's not for Internet Explorer anymore. That's for the Eczema Association. It's a group of people, experts, doctors, and dermatologists who actually study and understand eczema and have looked at products to make sure these products actually work. And I didn't just pick from those products, I actually went in and tested different products to make sure they actually work, and I was blown away by some of them, especially this from Josie Maran. There's something miraculous about this that this brand has never done before. And you know that we gotta talk about some vegan ceramide. So let's actually start here. Let's start with the vegan ceramide line. Although I'm holding up this cleanser, I want you to know, well, I want you to know that I went shopping, basically. I couldn't help myself. I want you to know that Pacifica's entire vegan ceramide line is approved by the Eczema Association, and they are fragrance-free, vegan, and made of ceramides. One of my favorite products from the Pacifica vegan ceramide line is definitely their moisturizer. It is one of my favorites, but it's actually not the face moisturizer that I recommend if you're struggling with eczema. But they do have some other products that are fantastic. First one is this cleanser. It is gentle, it is luxurious, but it actually imparts moisture into the skin. There are other cleansers that I love, such as like the Inkey List Oat Cleansing Balm, and normally some of those cleansing balms are really good for eczema-prone skin that can be a little bit more dry and irritated, but unfortunately sometimes those can be really greasy. And I find that this is a cleanser that's non-irritating, it's not overly greasy, it cleans the skin without stripping it. And if you have those eczema patches and flakes, it cleans those off, you know, without overly like scrubbing at the skin because it's not an exfoliant. But then the ceramides in here actually kind of go into the skin and nourish and moisturize those layers, and it almost gives you a non-oily internal shield or protection. It's not like a coating on the outside of the skin that some cleansers leave, but it's like from the inside of the skin out. This is absolutely beautiful, and I can't recommend this enough. And the entire line is dermatologist tested. They say it's for sensitive skin types, and these eye patches are freaking lovely. You know that I don't hate eye patches. They actually have pressure under the eye area, unlike most eye creams, which yes, I do use my vegan ceramide moisturizer as an eye cream, even though they do have an eye cream and I have used the eye cream. I find it to be very similar to the moisturizer, so I just use the moisturizer. But eye patches are different, and I like the way they actually work. Unfortunately, if you have eczema, oh my god, eye patches can be your worst nightmare. Who here has struggled with like eczema of the literal eye area? It is so itchy, it is inflamed, sometimes it flares up during winter, and a lot of like non-dermatology doctors will look at it and be like, meh, dry skin, or maybe even meh, rosacea. But if it's eczema, oh my God, it is painful. It stings, it burns, and you're sitting there rubbing your eye all day. Like, you gotta live with both of these. What are you supposed to do? And unfortunately, for some people, eczema can be triggered by certain skincare products or by using things with heavy fragrances or something that irritates the skin and can cause that contact dermatitis, that contact kind of allergen. Now, eczema isn't caused by a specific product or by a specific food. There are actually amazing videos by dermatologists on YouTube debunking that myth. But for some people, there can be triggers that lead to an eczema flare-up. A lot of eye products tend to do that because unfortunately they're overly fragranced. You know, they usually have kind of colors or like different pigments in them, and a lot of eye products don't actually have ingredients that are good for the eye. They're more just like, we sparkle, spend money. But these babies are different. These are little purple under eye jellyfish of fun that actually do the job, and they're vegan and cruelty-free and fragrance-free and filled with ceramides and dermatologist tested and sensitive skin safe. I freaking love these, and it's probably one of the only eczema eye products that I would recommend. There's the Colorescience Total Eye, but for eczema, this is where it's at. Now, we spoke about this cleanser. There's actually another cleanser, but an entire brand from Skinfix that does have, what is it? An Eczema Plus line. They have an Eczema Plus line. They also have a Dermatitis Plus Balm. This is so good. This is the Eczema Hand Repair Cream, and I don't think a lot of people realize how eczema can truly impact the entire body. It's not just the face or the scalp or even the ears. It literally happens all over in the creases and the folds of your skin, and that can be so painful and so uncomfortable and so irritating. And if you do have eczema on your fingers or on your hands, oh my God, imagine trying to write, imagine trying to eat, imagine trying to shake someone's hand, do anything, and your skin burns. We actually have an amazing member of our team who struggles with eczema of the fingers, and she types a lot, and I'm just like, oh my God, you poor thing. Like, I don't know your pain, but I wish I could just absorb it and take it away from you. But you know what? This does just that. This is the Eczema Repair Hand Cream. It got an Allure 2015 and 2017 Best of Whatever. Allure, that's great, but it actually gets my stamp of approval, the Eczema Association's stamp of approval, and multiple dermatologists and patients' stamp of approval. This is such a great formula. The ingredients in here are phenomenal, and this actually has colloidal oatmeal, which is a skin protectant. Especially if you have this hand eczema, these blisters, this dyshydrotic eczema, it can be so irritating. And most hand creams have like drying alcohols or like fragrance, or they leave you overly greasy. This does not do that. This actually does the job. It actually does the work. It is beYoutiful. And I'm gonna go out on a limb by saying this, but you could use this places other than your hands too. You could use this elsewhere on the body, the knees, the axillary areas where you get those flares. This is one of the nicest formulas, and I get a lot of hangnails. I wash my hands like 50 times a day on some occasions, and so I tend to get like really dry cuticles and really dry nails. This is so hydrating and moisturizing, even though I don't have this hand eczema, this dyshydrotic eczema. I absolutely love this, and it doesn't leave me oily. It's like a non-greasy. You see, a non-greasy. The main ingredient in here is actually allantoin, which we don't normally see as a main ingredient. Phenomenal. Even Skinfix, they're made in Canada. They're a female-founded brand. Mwah, they're literal perfection. And this formula also has aloe, it has shea butter, this has sunflower, this has rice, sweet almond, etc. There's a little bit of rosemary in here, but there's no fragrance. It is super luxurious, it is super nourishing, and it kind of melts into your skin and just, it does coat it. So please be aware, it doesn't leave you sticky, but it does coat your hands and it just protects them. And it's a really nice cuticle butter as well if you're looking for one of those. But Skinfix has done it multiple times. Their Dermatitis face balm is also fantastic. I would say you could use this on the face. You would want to ask your doctor because you have eczema. You would want to make sure that you patch test it first, but that is something you could do. I wouldn't use this in the hair, but I actually have something else that I would recommend for the scalp. Now, Skinfix also has this. This is an excellent cleanser if you're looking for something that's a little bit more foamy. This is beYoutiful, but this has that more traditional cleanser, foamy feeling, but it's an oil cleanser. And this is from the Barrier Plus line, not the Eczema Plus line, but oh my God, this is also so fantastic. And if you're looking for a foaming cleanser that doesn't strip, but it bubbles and foams up, this is gonna be your best friend. But let's just say that you don't wanna slather your hand cream on your armpits or your knees or the other eczema flares of your body. I would highly recommend this one. This is the Body Seal from Sandra Lee MD. This is the Ultra Repairing Cream, and it's made for dry eczema prone skin. This is fantastic, and even if you don't have eczema, this is such a nourishing, body loving formula. If you want something that just blankets you in softness after a shower and like actually absorbs into your skin, this is it. And even for me, you know, I have those little psoriasis flares, mine are very tiny. It soothes them. It doesn't allow them to stay so irritated and to continue flaking, which is what I absolutely love. This also has colloidal oatmeal at 1%, but I find this to be a much more lightweight version of this. This is definitely a little bit heavier. And again, it's not greasy, but it kind of leaves behind a film. This really soaks in so nicely. And especially after a shower, I love to use it. I would say this is better for people who don't have like major dryness or major flaking. And again, even if you don't have eczema, this is great for dry skin. But this is kind of that bridge in between. I'm not the worst that I have ever been, right? Like it's not absolutely terrible, but it's pretty bad, or it's dry to the point I need something and most other products out there just aren't cutting it. Dr. Sandra Lee herself is a dermatologist. She's Dr. Pimple Popper here on YouTube. And oh my God, she even has YouTube videos, you know, going over topics like eczema, even though her main thing is the pimple popping and the acne, which, you know, I can relate to on an emotional level. I just freaking love this. I love her so much. This is also at Target, so it's very affordable. Some of these other things are quite affordable as well, but we love some affordable skincare, which, oh, we're gonna talk about in just a second. But first, we gotta talk about this. I did not want to love this, and then I fell in love with this. This is the Intensive Daily Repair Body Butter, and Josie Maran is a great brand. It's actually one of like the first celebrity brands out there. They do this clean marketing, which I don't love, but most Josie Maran products are very heavily fragranced. They're so scented. They can be really good formulas, but they can be, you know, a little frustrating on like the clean beauty fear-mongering side or the fragrance side. But this is one formula. This actually delivers. This is probably one of the best body products that I've ever tried. It also comes in this glass package, which I love. It feels luxurious when you hold it, but it's also more eco-friendly, and you could even, like, once you're done with, it's a good amount of product. It's like, it's a good amount of product. But once you're done with the product, you can even fill this up with wax and like make a candle or something for yourself. I'm reusing, reducing, and recycling, okay? We're working on it. But this is one of the lightest weight formulas, and even though it's for the body, I would go so far as to say if you have eczema flares, you could use this on your face. The argan oil in here absorbs into skin so well. It is so gentle. It is so lovely. And it's the most whipped, cloud-like texture that I think I've ever felt in a body cream. It's like a cumulonimbus. I love this, including for the scalp. If you have eczema flares on your scalp and it's not something else like regular dandruff or something, like get it diagnosed by your doctor, but oh my God, it is so frustrating. And if you have like an itchy patch, oh, I don't even have major eczema of the scalp. I've had seborrheic dermatitis and psoriasis, but oh my God, just a minor amount of itching, I feel like I'm gonna crawl out of my skin. I can't imagine what that must feel like for someone who deals with that every f***ing day. But this stuff is so good. It doesn't like overly coat the hair. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't like leave the hair gross or nasty. You can kind of see it a little bit on there, but it doesn't like overly destroy it. And if you put it just on those itchy areas, it actually soaks into the scalp so nicely. And the way it soaks into eczema, most people don't realize how eczema works. It's like these skin cells that are constantly flaking off and they're dry and they're scaly. You can't just exfoliate them away. Like it's coming from the bottom layers inside of the literal skin, the literal anatomy. Again, beautiful histology, but that's very different from normal skin. But when you actually find a formula that absorbs like into the top layers of the eczema, it soothes them, it calms them down, and oh my God, on the scalp, it is so helpful. I cannot tell you how great this is, especially kind of like for the hairline. Maybe you live in an extremely dry climate. This is so beautiful. And yes, it is approved by the National Eczema Association. Again, that E is not for Internet Explorer. Eczema Association. This has colloidal oatmeal again at 0.8%, but it's also got a bunch of other fantastic ingredients. We have aloe, we have shea butter, we have oligosaccharides, we have glycerin, we have caprylic triglyceride. Basically take all of the really good hydrators and put them in one. And there's no fragrance! For eczema-prone skin, I am so happy about that. Again, I don't hate fragrance in all skincare products, but if you're dealing with like a medical skin condition, and if you're prone to allergies and irritations and flares, why f with something? Why f with perfection, okay? Don't mess with perfection. Mwah. You're perfect if you didn't get the hint. This is absolutely beautiful. One of the most shocking purchases. I wasn't expecting this to A, be fragrance free, or B, to be such a nice formula, but I love it. And it's a nice, lightweight, absorbable formula. Now, what if you wanted something that doesn't absorb? What if you want something that is just thick? You don't even care about hydrating the eczema anymore because you've already hydrated it with one of these. You just want to seal it in. This is an old trick of the trade, and it is so good. This is Solimo jelly, otherwise known as Petroleum, otherwise known as Petroleum, or white petroleum, or white petroleum, petroleum jelly, Vaseline. Call it what you like, that is what it is. Vaseline or petroleum jelly has been used for years, and it's normally used alongside bleach. I kid you not, we are not talking about bleaching the skin, we are talking about literal bleach baths. Now, I am going to say here, this is not medical advice. Do not get medical advice from the internet. Get medical advice from your doctor. I am not telling you to take a bleach bath. I am not telling you to dilute bleach and put it in a bathtub. I'm not telling you to put bleach on your skin. Please do not twist my words. But do know that if a doctor recommends it, and if a doctor teaches you how to do it for yourself or for your child, if someone's struggling with eczema in their infancy, it can be very helpful when directed by a dermatologist. But usually what goes hand in hand with a bleach bath, well, compression socks and compression pajamas. Fun fact, if you didn't know that about eczema, they literally have moisturizing compression garments. Highly recommended. But also, Petroleum jelly, Solimo jelly, Vaseline. This is not going to hydrate the skin. Hydrators are things that actually have water in them, so something like these that actually have water or gives moisture to the skin, but this will moisturize. It's occlusive. It will seal things in. And that is why it is amazing, because it seals in whatever is on it underneath, whether it was a bleach bath and you've rinsed the bleach off, or whether it's something like this that you've applied to the skin, allowed to soak in, and then you go in with a sealant over top. Petroleum jelly, or slugging, has actually been around for decades. A lot of people in the African American and Black beauty communities have used it for years. Like, slugging is nothing new. The internet just ran with it and like gave it a new name, and I even thought it was new for quite a while, this new trend, right? It's technically trendy, but it's always been there for certain people and for people who have eczema. And derms know this. We do have videos on the difference between hydrating versus moisturizing, which I think that, you know, anyone struggling with dry skin should watch, because it's revolutionary when you find out that your water products aren't going to moisturize, or your moisturizers don't actually hydrate the skin. Like, how the f does that work? But I've broken it down for you just the way we broke down these products. So love the skin that you're in, be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in one of these next ones. Also, did you find the little hidden secret meow meow in the video? Put the timestamp in the comments and maybe I'll pin you to the top of the comments. Hey! I love you, beautiful butterflies. Whether or not you are filaggrin deficient, if I missed one of your favorite eczema products, put it in the comments. Let's help each other out. And always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I will see you in the comments. Love you guys. Bye. My nice hydrated hand say bye. Why do I always say it like I'm sniffing cheese? Bye. Bye. Okay, bye.